What's up, everyone, and welcome to another Premier Series Season 3 qualifier coming to you from MOTUS Ninjas in Lee Summit, Missouri. We are super excited to kick things off here with an incredible lineup of teen athletes that are ready to throw down on this course and hopefully qualify to come here back at MOTUS in November for our finals. With our course designers, Donovan and TJ, that are also going to be designing our course in November. They're really known for making fun and challenging courses here at MOTUS. MOTUS was established in 2018, and this new facility opened up in March of 2025, and it is no joke with the amount of space that they have. And I'm also super excited that they will be hosting my women's championship later this year as well. Today, we've got our teen male and females here at 1 o'clock p.m., and then you can see our elite division at 4 o'clock p.m. later today, taking on these courses. My name is Megan Budway, and I am here today with Travis Rosen. How are you today, Travis?
I'm great, Megan. This is going to be an incredible teen division here at MOTUS. So exciting getting to have a competition at the location of the finals for Premier Series, and it has been a great weekend so far. I expect nothing less from these teens. It's going to be a fun session.
Yeah, I'm super excited to watch. I think it's really smart of these people to come to the competition that will be hosting our finals. But let's look at the rest of the schedule leading up to our finals. We've got Rise. We had that in July. Right now we're at MOTUS. After MOTUS, we've got Rock City Ninja and Ascend finishing up August. In September, we've got Jump Twist, Arc, Warrior Adventure, and Fit Set. Those are two of our international qualifiers in France and Canada. In October, we've got Ninja U, Life Force, and Dexterity. And then leading up to our finals back here at MOTUS, we've got our UK qualifier. Then we'll be back here at Lee's Summit on November 22nd and 23rd for our season championships.
Yeah, Megan, you really touched on it's great for these athletes to be competing where the finals are going to be. Every competition you have ninja athletes who might be competing at their home gym. It gives them a definite advantage, kind of have that home feel advantage, but obviously not everybody can have that. So at least these athletes, should they qualify for the finals back here at MOTUS, they at least will already have some familiarity with this gym, and it's going to help them even more when the finals get here.
Yeah, I think the course design as well. They'll have kind of a little experience with what the courses are like here out of Donovan and TJ. And then hopefully we'll see a handful of these back in November.
Yeah, definitely. Both these course designers, they are known for fun courses, but ones that are very tricky, very hard, really requiring all the tools that a ninja athlete needs. And again, this facility, it is such a nice ninja complex. So many good obstacles, state of the art, safety, everything. It's just a great place to have a competition like this, and it's an exciting time.
Oh, yeah. All right. So let's talk about how these ninjas have qualified. This is the top 25% from the World Championships, from season standings, as well as invitation. Some of these ninjas were invited to test their skills here at Premier Series if they didn't necessarily qualify. We're going to see two courses today. We're going to have our placement course, which is one of our flow formats. Basically, you run either until you fall or you run out of time. And then we're also going to see a challenge course later on. This is 2 retries per athlete. You get 2 retries on the course total, and you get 1 retry per obstacle. So it's basically you have 2 lives out there to get you through a tricky course. That placement course that we're going to see here shortly is going to seed the run order for the challenge course. So it doesn't necessarily determine who the winner is. The challenge course is going to determine who qualifies, takes those top 4 spots for finals, but the placement course is still important because you do want to go later in that run order so you can, watch beta and watch your competitors and see what you have to beat.
Yeah, definitely, Megan. I love having the placement course because not only does it help you get a more advantageous run order for the challenge course where it really all matters, but it really helps these athletes get the nerves out. And if they happen to have an unexpected fall or they go out a little sooner than they wanted, their day's not over. They definitely get to come back in the challenge course, maybe get some redemption, and still potentially move on to the finals.
Yes, I'm hoping that we'll see a clear out of our challenge course today because so far this weekend we have not seen one. We were really close in our amateur division, but let's take a look now at some of our competitors in this division. There's a few that I'm familiar with and a few that I've never seen, but I'm excited to watch. Looking at our teen females, it looks like we've got Hannah, who has been doing ninja for 7 years. So she's got 7 years of competing under her belt. Her brother is also going to be competing later in the teen male division, Jackson. So it's going to be cool to see the two of them. I guess that's a combined total of 14 years under their belt there. Hannah's got her fellow teammate, Lucy, that's going to be joining her following right after. She's been training for 3 years. And then Ellie in our teen females, she has the home field advantage because she trains here at MOTUS. So that might give her a little edge up on the competition. Let's look
Yeah,
at.
and
Go ahead.
Megan, I was going to say real quick, just only 4 female competitors. So if they all do well enough in the challenge course, they can all advance to the finals. So not quite as competitive of a field for the female women, but you know that they're all wanting to get that top spot regardless. So you know they're going to be pushing it. Definitely much more competitive in the male division, though. I think 15 males today, so only 4 of them are going to get to move on. They are going to have a tough, tough time.
Yep, and it looks like we're getting our course demo now. This was our amateur champion from earlier. This is Sam running through. He's giving us a really fast demo of these obstacles already through the mini flips, going through the doors. A lot of these obstacles that you'll see on these courses, we actually saw at World Championships, which is cool that because a lot of these athletes qualified through championships, they're getting to test those obstacles again that they maybe didn't get the chance to play on at Worlds, or they want to do better or faster on them. So that was a very quick demo run for us to see there. 6 obstacles total. We're going to see what our time limit is shortly, but that was fast.
Yeah, definitely, Megan. That was so quick because if you happen to look away for just a moment, he was already hitting that buzzer. So, placement courses definitely known for their speed and quickness. And so, that's the challenge for these athletes. They need to know exactly how they're going to go about this placement course because yeah, they're going to be going for that fastest time, but when you go super, super fast, you can make silly mistakes. So we'll see if they can balance it out with their own skill set, and it's going to be exciting to see.
Yeah, it's our first runner here is going to be Hannah taking on the course, going to tack off that wall over to the platform, striding her way across the balance. On this placement course, they have a really tight time limit. So the less backswings that they can take, the easier time that they're going to have. Linking through that, no problem. Great work out of Hannah, heading over now to the doors. Jumps over to that quad step, having to push her way through and around. 20 seconds left on the clock on our Spider-Verse. A little trip there, but she's able to stay on the platform, taking a backswing. Great lead out, linking through. Great run out of Hannah. All the way up, and we have a clear and a buzzer for our first competitor today.
Yeah, Hannah did a great job. Way to start it off. I love seeing a clear from the first competitor, which is really exciting, but you know it puts some pressure on the rest of the ninjas. I really think whoever wants that first spot, they're going to have as minimal number of swings as possible. Like you said, linking, we're going straight from one grab to the next is going to be key.
Absolutely. And here is Lucy, one of Hannah's training partners, heading now through our stumps onto the mini flips. I believe that when we time our kids on the courses, pretty much every backswing is roughly 2 seconds. So the minimum amount of backswings you can have, the faster time. Lucy's taking a backswing there, but links the dismount. Striding over now to the doors. Going for a little more careful approach. It looks like her foot just hit the ground, though, on that quad step, and Our ref Donovan's going to call that out, and that's going to be an end on her run.
Yeah, Lucy was doing good. She just got a little out of control on that dismount and lost a little bit of body awareness. Her foot just barely touched that ground, but unfortunately that is out of play, and she had to be finished.
We will see her later, though, on that challenge course. Up next is going to be Ellie, coming from MOTUS Ninjas. A little home field advantage here. Pushing off the wall. Great dismount there. Going right away, striding through. I love her pace between obstacles because, you know, even that the running between the obstacles is going to be able to make up a lot of time. Had a really high throw there. I thought she might link it, but she does link the dismount. Now onto the doors. Great footwork. Pulling that last door around, heading over to the Spider-Verse. Taking one backswing here. Taking another backswing just to be safe. She does have time. She's got 10 seconds left on the clock. A little off kilter there, but she's going to line that up. She's sprinting up the wall. 3 seconds left, and another clear here from Ellie.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Ellie. She took a few too many swings, I thought, and I thought it was going to come back to bite her, but she wound up getting that buzzer with 2 seconds left. Impressive finish there. Way to go for Ellie.
I think she made up a lot of time between the obstacles, which is really cool to see, sprinting between them. Right, and our last female runner today is going to be Elliot, rocking a barn shirt. Coming also out of Missouri.
I will say, with her being the last female competitor, it's great because she knows what others have done if she wants to go for that fastest time. Almost, not sure.
I think they're going to have to call that one. Saves herself with the camera. Oh, that's a little unfortunate. But the good news is she does get to run later.
Yeah, you hate to see that, just a little bit of a mental lapse. You can definitely have that happen. The very beginning of the competition, you've got the nerves and you just got so much energy, and you can lose focus for just a second, and something like that can happen. But like you said, she'll be back. Hopefully she'll get redemption.
Yep, she will be our first runner later on the challenge course. We're going to move over now to our teen males. I wonder what the fastest time we're going to see out of this group is.
Fast. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Definitely. I think our fastest amateur clear was 24 seconds. So let's see if anybody beats that.
Well, I will say, Megan, this teen Division II, they're known for their competitiveness. And when they see somebody put up a fast time, you know they want to go even faster. So I think we're going to see some exciting course runs here.
I think so, too. Josh is starting us off right now, linking his way through the mini flips over now to the door. Pushing to one side, making sure it flips all the way around. Dives right into the next side, over to the Spider-Verse, linking right off the jump. A little sideways, but gets the dismount. Headed up the warped wall now, and a clear out of Josh.
Yeah, super fast run. Again, way to start off the male division. I thought he was going even a little fast right here on these holds. Almost missed it, almost came off sideways on that landing platform, but he was able to correct, and he crushed it.
And I think the males have to use the taller warped wall. I think that is the difference between the male and female course and the end of the speed run. Jeremy is up now from Ultimate Ninjas, pushing his way off to that dismount, striding his way through, over to the mini flips, sets his hips back, goes right away, not taking any back swings, over to the doors. Great push through. Hits it right on the edge and over now to the Spider-Verse. Linking through, one backswing. Reaches out with a Gibbons, lines himself up, and he is up that wall to the buzzer.
Yeah, that was a very impressive save. He obviously slipped off on that first grab into the Spider-Verse and almost slipped off, but he had massive grip strength, was able to hold on and finish with ease. Good job, Jeremy.
Very good awareness on that. All right, who's next? We got Caden up right now, coming to us from the Midwest Warrior. There's a lot of athletes from that gym today. It's cool that the team could travel together. Waiting for that course to be reset for Caden to take on this placement course here. Thumbs up, and we are off. Caden pushing off that wall. Turning now, quick steps through the balance. Over to the mini flips, goes right away. Linking into those slots, no problem. Attacking the doors. Making his way around. On now to the Spider-Verse. Great set of his hips, keeping straight in line with that. Up the warped wall. And we're going to see another buzzer out of Caden.
Yeah, he did such a good job. I was super impressed that he linked that very first mini flip. We've seen other competitors link the other ones, but not the first, and that really saved him a little bit of time, helped him get even a faster finish.
Yeah, I don't think there was a single backswing in that course run. Let's see, who do we have? Dylan's going to be our next competitor. Course is being reset. He also comes out of MOTUS Ninjas, rocking that MOTUS shirt. It looks like the resetters can't keep up with the teens. They're clearing this course so fast. And let's see. Dylan is off, striding his way through. Takes a second. He looks to be one of the shorter competitors, so eyeing up that jump. Links his way through after a backswing on the first one. Over now to the doors. Making his way around, uses his hands just to be safe on that quad step, which looks like it is okay. A little stuck, but pulls his way through. He's got 15 seconds left on the clock. Taking a backswing here. Hopefully he can link. Oh, another backswing. 7 seconds left. He's got to get out of there to the warped wall. One hand on that last twisting around, and the clock is just going to run out.
Yeah, that was a great effort. Definitely, he did not give up at all. Just a little bit too conservative of a pace if he wanted to get the fastest time, and just hit the buzzer. But unfortunately, came back to bite him a little bit. But still a great course run from Dylan. You know he's going to come to the challenge course ready to show what he's got.
We've got some in the chat that's predicting the winners for today, so we got to keep an eye. It looks like we got Ethan and Emmett and Godbout to keep an eye on today. But our next competitor is going to be Jackson Woodland, also out of Kansas City, Missouri. Waiting for that course to be reset.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough spot to be up on that starting platform, ready to go, and then you have to wait. The unfortunate icing that we call it, it does happen, happens in so many different sports, but it's particularly tricky with Ninja, but it's just another one of the obstacles, just a mental one that these athletes have to learn how to overcome.
Especially when it's out of your control, like obstacle malfunction or waiting for your course to be reset, which I'm assuming is what's happening right here for Jackson.
Looks like there's a slight technical difficulty with some of the names that are being displayed. We'll get that fixed here pretty soon. But Megan, in all the years that I did American Ninja Warrior, the worst time of icing I had was an hour and a half.
Oh my gosh!
I was ready to go, and right after the person in front of me went, they said, "We're gonna stop," and I had to wait for an hour and a half.
Was it like a lunch break or whatever?
It was, and then they needed some extra time for the commentators to get some stuff recorded. Thankfully, I wound up crushing the course and was the first one to clear that city finals course. That was a fun evening, but not necessarily my favorite time waiting beforehand.
Yeah, I can imagine. But it looks like maybe you just need a little bit of extra rest and visualization like Jackson's giving us right now on the starting platform.
Yeah, definitely that visualization that you see he's doing right now, that's such a incredibly helpful skill. It's what I did. I know so many other ninjas do it too, just kind of mentally running through the course so that when you're actually doing it for real, it's almost as if you've done it, that your mind's kind of ready for it. And looks like we're gonna go now, so let's see how Jackson does.
All right, Jackson is ready. Push a little push back there. It didn't look like he had his legs lined up where he wanted them. Tacking off, but he's got it, sticking that landing. Striding on now to the mini flips. Not sure. Oh, looks like he took an extra backswing there. Taking a backswing on the middle one, but links the dismount over to the doors. A lot of our athletes are utilizing, they jump where the stoppers are on those doors and then pull them around to make sure that they don't have too out of control of a pull on there. He's got 7 seconds though. He's got to really link through this if he wants a chance to get up the warped wall. He does clear that one, but time is out for Jackson's run.
Now, it still is a good effort from Jackson, but as we've already said, seeing so many of these athletes go, if you take those extra swings, it's definitely going to cost you just because the time limit is so short. So if you want to hit the buzzer, especially if you want to get that first place time, you got to go right away, got to link all those swinging elements.
Absolutely. And we got another Jackson. We saw his twin sister run earlier. She put up a really great clear on the placement course. So we're going to see if Jackson can follow in his sister's footsteps here. Looks like he's ready to go. Gets the go ahead. Tacking off. Oh, takes a push back. Looks like his foot just slipped there on the wall. Decides not to use the wall. Goes straight over to the platform. Striding his way across. Great links from the get-go on that mini flip obstacle, jumping to the side, really pulling his way through the doors, looking clean on this course so far. Linking all the way through the spider obstacle up the wall, and that's going to be a clear from Jackson in a first place so far.
That was an incredible run, especially having a little bit of a mishap at the beginning. You thought, oh, he's going to get a little mentally rattled, but he just collected everything mentally, and he just crushed that. He had such a sense of urgency, such a fast time, even with a slight mistake.
Yeah, he really made up for that time there. That was fantastic. We got Emmett up now. Ready for that go from our ref. Goes right away, just like we saw Jackson do on his second try on that obstacle, striding through. Jumping back on the mini flips. Underbar tech off the last one. That's actually going to save him a lot of time. Really pushing the pace here. Pulls through. Lines up that dismount. Sprinting up the wall. Incredible run out of Emmett. 22 seconds. That's faster than we saw any of our amateurs run earlier.
Yeah, that was incredible, Megan. I honestly don't think I saw really any mistakes. Almost like, could he have done it any faster? I don't know. He was so smooth, so precise. That was an incredible first place run.
That's going to be a really hard time to beat. But Max out of MOTUS looks like he's ready to go. Going to try to beat that 22-second time. It's that underbar off the mini flips really saves a lot of time, not throwing up as high to get off the obstacle. Goes right away over to the dismount, skipping some of the steps. Over now to the mini flip. Great jump back. Oh, needs an extra backswing there. See if he can make up the time here. Floats up over to the dismount. Jumping over to the side of the door. Trying to make up his pace here on the last obstacle now. 25 seconds left on the clock. Great pulls through. Getting up and over that warped wall. And that's going to put him in second place with 28 seconds.
Yeah, that was such a fast run. I do think it was just that very first extra swing he took on the mini flips, but he did such a good job. I love how the last several athletes, they're not doing that tack off the wall on the very first obstacle. They're going straight to the landing platform. Doesn't seem like much, but it still saves about a second or two, and it might come down to that to get that fastest time.
I agree. It's one of those risks to reward where, you can overshoot that platform pretty easily with that tech. But if you make that platform, I think it's going to save you enough time to put you ahead. We've got Miles now getting ready to go. Pushing his same tech there, pushing his way through, turns himself around. Striding now over to the mini flips. He's going to jump back. Looks like he took a backswing on that first one. Linking his way through the rest of them, needing a backswing on the last one as well to line his hips up. Oh, goes a little too far on that door. Pushing around now, getting his foot out to get his footing over on that quad step. He's gonna have to make up some time here. 15 seconds left, jumps back. Looked like he was gonna link that first one. Deciding to lead out with one arm, needing another backswing here. He's really gonna have to move up that wall. The clock is ticking down. And, oh, just so close to that buzzer as the time runs out.
Yeah, he was so close. Like we've seen before with some other athletes, just took too many swings. But he had such a big arm span there. I thought he was even gonna static those into the Spider-Verse holds. It looked like he almost could have,
I
but
thought so.
it was still a really good run from Miles.
Yeah, I thought he was about to do that too. The way he let out, he might have an advantage on later courses being able to reach that far. Right, Miles just ran. So our next runner is gonna be Ian, coming to us from Illinois, Ultimate Ninjas. Making his way around, tacks off the wall. Oh, foot slips, so he's gonna have to push his way back. Decides to go straight to the platform this time. Striding his way through. Trying to make up some time here, running between the obstacles. Steps his hips back. A little off sideways. He's able to hold on, but he does need a backswing there before he makes that dismount. Pushing his way through. A little uneasy on those quad steps, but he's able to recover on now to the last obstacle. Takes a backswing. Sets himself up for the links. Off to the side, but is able to get that dismount, and he is up the wall now. That's going to put him in 7th place with a clear.
Yeah, Ian did a really good job. He obviously had a little bit of adversity on some of those obstacles, getting a little off on his swings, getting a little sideways, but he was always able to correct, and he hit the buzzer.
All right, we are down to our final 6 runners here in our placement course for our teen males here at MOTUS, and Marty's going to be our next runner. He's rocking that Daniel Gill shirt on the starting platform, coming to us from Illinois. Going right over to the platform. That was really smooth. Stepping his way across. Running over. Jumps back. Takes a backswing to make sure he's got enough here. Throwing really high, setting himself for those links. Jumping over, making sure that door gets all the way around. A little too far. Wasn't comfortable to go to that quad step yet. He's able to save it here. He's got to make up a little bit of time as he goes into the Spider-Verse obstacle. Looks like his hips were a little offset there, but he's able to link through the rest of the obstacle. 8 seconds left on the clock. Getting up that warped wall and over to the buzzer. 7th place right now for Marty.
That was a great buzzer from Marty. It looked like he was a little flustered throughout that course a little bit. I'm not sure if, after one or two things didn't go quite exactly as he had prepared, it kind of threw him off a little bit, but he was able to make the necessary corrections and hit the buzzer. So good job, Marty.
Our next runner is coming to us all the way from California. He's rocking that Traverse shirt out there. This is going to be Ethan, taking on the placement course. Great awareness over to that platform, striding through, moving really fast in between these obstacles. Needs a backswing on that first mini flip, but pulls through the rest of them, wasting no time heading over to the doors. Pushing his way through, pulling that one around, over now to the Spider-Verse. Looking for the links on this obstacle. Great work out of Ethan, up the wall, over to that buzzer, and that's going to put him in 6th place with a clear.
Yeah, he was flying through that course, Megan. A couple times on these holds right there, I thought he was maybe going to miss it, but
Yeah.
he was actually looking so fast. I wondered if he was even breathing. And as crazy as it can sound, sometimes you get so dialed in on these fast courses, you can actually forget to breathe a little bit.
Yes.
So, super important. Breath is important for us. So, but he made it through that. So, good job.
He did. Up now is one of my students at Team Jump Twist. We've got Coach Flip on the side. This is Isaac McCarthy coming from Florida. We saw his brother win the amateur division earlier, so Isaac's looking to follow in his footsteps as he's pushing his way now over to the mini flips. Jumps back. Oh, and just misses the slots. And that's going to end his run here. I don't think he realizes that his run is over. Oh, that's very unfortunate early exit for Isaac.
Yeah, you know, he was not anticipating that. And that is one of the unfortunate things that can happen when you're trying to go so fast. You can get just a little ahead of yourself mentally. And instead of securing the grab or the placement right in front of you, you can already be thinking a little bit ahead. And he just unfortunately came up a little short with that grab. And too bad. But you know, he's going to come back ready to go on the challenge course.
Absolutely. Isaac is very much like his brother who we saw earlier, where challenge is his specialty. Very, very strong with grip strength and burnout style courses. So we're definitely going to get to see him run later. We've got 3 runners left now in our teen male division. We've got Liam. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say what's great for these last 3. Obviously, they're at the back of the pack. They've seen everybody else go. They know what's at stake. If they want to get that fastest time, they know what they have to do. And so it can also put a little bit of pressure on them, though. So we'll see how Liam handles it.
Exactly. I was literally about to say the same thing. They know what they got to do. They know the time that they have to beat. And it looks like Liam is cruising through this course. Takes one backswing on that Spider-Verse obstacle. Linking through the rest of it, no problem. All the way up, really fast time. 3rd place run in 29 seconds.
Yeah, so fast. If he could have linked that first Spider-Verse grab, I think he might have maybe even had the fastest time, but still, really good job. Have 3rd place so far with an extra swing. Good job from Liam.
Yes, I actually think this is our final runner, Cameron, that's about to step up to the placement course here. It looks like in the chat we have somebody saying that he is a favorite to win today. So he knows what he's got to beat. He knows what he's got to do to make sure he has a really good run order for that challenge course. And he is off right away, looking really calm and under control on the speed course, making up time between those obstacles. Needs a backswing here, but is able to pull his way through. Jumping now to the side of that door, making up a lot of time here on this obstacle. Over now to the Spider-Verse, jumps back, looking to link the rest of this. Great pulls up that wall, and that's going to put Cameron 11th place with a clear. We had a lot of clears today.
We definitely did. This course did not disappoint. So fast, so many clears. Cameron did a great job right there. Again, he had a definite sense of urgency. Kind of surprised that he wound up 11th. It looked like he would have been a little faster than that, but great job nonetheless.
That extra backswings we see in there. But this is going to be your top 4 going into that challenge course. We've got Emmett with a time of 22 seconds, followed by Max, Liam, and Jackson. So that means that Emmett will be our last runner today on that challenge course. And then we'll take a look at our female leaderboard. There are only 4 females, so I believe they have to get through 3 obstacles on challenge in order to qualify. But Elliot's going to be our first runner. Hannah's going to be our last runner, and we had 2 clears out of our ladies today.
Yeah, everybody did so good on the placement course. You know, some fell a little earlier than they expected, maybe a few mental mishaps, but everyone's going to come out ready to go on the challenge course. It's going to be a really exciting session.
Yeah, I am super excited to see it. We're going to take a quick break here while they go through their rules, and we will be back with you guys shortly for a demo of our challenge course.
Ocean Needs Everyone is celebrating 5 years of saving the oceans. My name's Enzo, and through Ocean Needs Everyone, I help save the ocean by doing beach cleanups, seal and mangrove plantings, making art about recycled plastic, and making films regarding the ocean's health. How can you help save the oceans at home? Well, even if you don't live near an ocean, trash can end up in there eventually, so cut down on your use of single-use plastics. If you see trash on the roads or beaches, make sure to pick it up. Use less gas-powered vehicles, fish responsibly, and help support local organizations. I started my organization when I was 12 years old because I wanted to make a difference. So remember, you're never too young to follow your dreams and make a change. Let's all save our oceans together, one piece of trash at a time.
Want to train like a pro? DGS Ninja has you covered with obstacles designed by top athletes. Kevin Carbone, Matt Bradley, Tom Alberti, and Brett Sims. Whether you're dialing in your technique at the gym or training at home, DGS Ninja equipment is built for performance, durability, and safety. Train with confidence. Train with DGS Ninja. Find obstacles, rigs, mats, and more on dgsninja.com.
Has this ever happened to you? Where's my chalk bag? Ooh, I have a solution for that. Slab chalk! You take the chalk ball, put it in a mesh pocket, zip it up, slap, and get your chalk. Slab chalks are made right here in Springdale, Arkansas at Interform, the small batch manufacturing company. We're helping our community and providing local jobs to minorities and women of diverse backgrounds. I'm Joseph Rao, Ninja Warrior, rock climber, and the CEO of Slap Chalks.
All right, guys, welcome back to our Premier Series qualifier here at MOTUS Ninjas for our teen division. We're about to see the challenge course demo, but real quick, it looks like the God Bouts placement was wrong. They forgot to give him one of the points, so he actually put up a 4th place time, which is why Travis and I were so confused. And so we thought he moved very fast through that course. So that was a 4th place run out of him.
Yeah, glad to hear that clarification, because had me scratching my head a little bit, but I figured, hey, we're just going with what we see, so I guess that must be the case, but there wasn't technical glitch there, so that seems more appropriate.
Yeah, we were both very confused by that. But we're about to see a demo for our challenge course, which we have not had a clear yet on this challenge course this entire weekend. In our amateur division, Sam came down to less than a second between him hitting the buzzer and the time ending. So he was super close. So I'm hoping that we'll get to see a clear out of these teens.
Yeah, definitely a very, very difficult challenge course. And for those who are not familiar, typically the challenge courses, they are much longer. You have a lot more time, but they are very difficult. Typically a great mix of all the different ninja skills you need, lots of strength, lots of muscular endurance, precision, technique, balance. It's a mixture of everything. You really need to be wise how you go about these courses, because you can easily run out of gas by the end. That's when we say somebody is looking pumpy, or it's a pumpy course, they're pumping out. That means they're running out of gas. So these are going to be it's a very, very big challenge, but these teens, they might be up for it, Megan.
I think so too. We've got our winner from the last division out here demoing this course, making it look easier than it did before for him, going through the O's and the cliffhanger to rings. On now to the boot scoot, which I feel like is the obstacle of the year this year. Oh, looks like the balance just pushed out from under him there. But it's 2 balance beams over to the quad steps, and we're now on to the 20 and 0, which the name of this obstacle came from when the Angry Birds were on Ninja Warrior, of how many people it took out for that season, the 20 and 0.
Well, and you can see already this is going to be a tricky course, because these are the course testers who, they're just kind of having fun. And they're making some mistakes. So the actual competitors, they are going to have quite the challenge.
Yeah, they will. We will see, of course, the testers, they have to do the obstacles as is and as is intended. So I know in our amateur division, we did see a lot of risky skips and big dismounts that I'm sure we will also see from our teens as well. This one right here is very intimidating. The little grip that you have to get yourself through a little bit of a time waster. Looks like his foot just touched the ground there, trying not to come off the wall. But he gets that dismount. Our next balance obstacle, we've got a spinning log and straight into dominoes. And this obstacle here we saw on stage 3 this past season at WNL Worlds. It is a toe hook style obstacle called Taking the L. And hopefully we're not going to see a lot of people take the L on this obstacle today. It's very it's a rock climbing almost style obstacle here.
Yeah, definitely. This uses so much different type of strength. You've got the grip, the forearm strength, but also core, getting your legs up there, a lot of precision. Some really tricky obstacles they've put together for this course here at MOTUS.
Yeah, a lot of different moves, different dismounts over to the side, but we're on now to our last obstacle, floating monkey bars. We've got a dropping salmon ladder, which we saw in stage 2 at Worlds, straight into floating monkey bars, which by the end of this course, 12 obstacles in, this is definitely a taxing obstacle to try to get through. Oh, and our tester just slips out of that cradle there. It looks like it spun him out, but that's roughly the idea of what we're going to see on our challenge course today. Again, we have not had any clears so far on this course. Do you think we're going to see one today, Travis?
I'm going to say yes. I think these teens are really bringing it. They train so hard. And at this point, I'm sure that's in their head that nobody this whole weekend has beat this course. And there's somebody who wants to be the first. So I'm going to say yes. I'm not sure who it's going to be, but I think somebody is going to hit that buzzer.
I'm not sure either, but I agree. I think we will see at least one clear. It's got to feel good, going into this course being like, I'm going to be the first one of the weekend. So I'm sure we have a lot of competitive teens here that want to make that happen.
Definitely. With a course like this, though, again, that's where strategy comes so into play because you want to be able to clear those obstacles, but you also have to do it within the time limit given. So you have to have a sense of urgency, but also not go too fast to where you run out of gas too soon. So really comes down to your level of conditioning and preparedness and just knowing your own strengths.
Yeah, and on this course too, you do get those 2 retries. So I feel like you don't want to use one of those retries on one of the longer, pumpier obstacles, or you're gonna, waste a lot of your grip having to go back and do an obstacle again. It looks like our first runner is stepping up on the block. We're gonna have Elliot take on this challenge course. And I do believe there are some changes between males and females on this course, which I applaud MOTUS for making those changes, making it a little more challenging for the teens and making it the teen males and making the females feel like they actually have a shot at clearing this course.
Yeah, and Elliot, she was the one, she had a little bit of a mental snafu and got off balance and touched the camera on that placement course. So hopefully she comes out ready for some redemption, fire in her belly, and she's going to put up a good run right here.
Yeah, she's already making her way through that first one. That truss is in play if they need it for their dismount. On now to the cliffhangers. Now, this obstacle is interesting because from the side, these cliffhangers look super juggy, but from the top, it looks like there's actually not a lot of room for your fingers on there.
Yeah, that definitely is going to test everybody's grip strength for sure. It's interesting seeing the different techniques we've seen over the weekend on that. Some people do the jump flying through the air and grabbing with both hands. Other people static that where they've got one hand on the original hold and the first hand goes on to the next hold. So it'll be interesting to see how different ninja athletes do that obstacle this weekend.
Yes. All right. This one is our 20-0, and it's our Angry Birds because they named this because all 20 people that tried it on Ninja Warrior failed. So hopefully we'll see a better clear rate on this obstacle. It looks like here the females are allowed to use any portion of the Angry Birds, which is a very good change. I know the males are going to have to use those green slots specifically, but Elliot is doing a great job hopping her way through, keeping her hands even over to the dismount.
Yeah, she did a really good job there. I thought coming towards the end of that, she was maybe not far enough with her grab, but she was able to get all of those and make it through relatively easy.
Yep, really good job. All right, on to the mousetrap. We saw this obstacle at the end of stage 2 at Worlds. Oh, she looks like she had the flip, but her hands were just slightly underneath that cliffhanger. She was not high enough to have enough time to flip it and get her hands on there.
Yeah, at least definitely I like the ability to have a retry. It takes a little pressure off. Of course, once you do have your fall, then you do have the pressure on you because if you fall one more time on that obstacle, your run is done. So hopefully she can get it. Looks like there's a little technical issue there. Donovan coming to the rescue.
Yeah, a little. She gets a little extra rest time right now with that obstacle malfunction. And because of the challenge course format, the clock is paused while they reset the obstacle. So she got a little time to shake her hands out, visualize through her movements on this obstacle, and she is back now for her second try, hopping her way through, reaching out. Let's see if she can set her hips up a little higher this time on this mousetrap. She's building her swing up. Gets it her second try. Great job, Elliot. She's got to throw over now to this trapeze bar. And one more move for our females. The second mousetrap is up, but it is off slightly to an angle. But no problem for Elliot. She is eyeing up that dismount now. Great. 1:30 left on the clock.
Yeah, she did a really good job on it. That was not an easy obstacle by any means, but now you go right into this ice climber obstacle, and you need to be so precise with each one of these grabs because not all of those rock climbing holds are as you say, juggy or just, with an easy grab. The little ice climber holds like that. She just, if you're off a little bit, it'll slip. Wow.
Yeah, this one Definitely, it eats up your grip with those tiny little ice picks, but it also eats up your time as well because you want to make sure that you have like the exact placement of the pick on the rock. Make sure your feet are helping you on the wall. So this is definitely a little diabolical obstacle in the middle of the challenge course from our course designers. Oh, and just a little slip. One of those ice picks came loose and she lost her balance. Very solid run out of our first teen female today. Great job, Elliot.
Yeah, she really did good at starting off the female division. I think she is hopefully feeling proud from that and happy with herself. I know she probably would have wanted to go a little further, but I think she still did a good job. And I know the other females are now watching that, seeing what they need to do and maybe what worked, what didn't work for Elliot, and how they can take advantage of that on their course run.
Absolutely. It's always hard being the first one to go, but I think Elliot did a really good job of putting up a pretty strong run that the other teen females are going to have to chase in order to get that first place spot. Again, these females have to get through 3 obstacles in order to qualify since there are only 4 of them, but you want to chase that first place so that you can have a better run order placement for finals. And here goes Lucy on the course. She is out of Midwest Warrior Academy, and her favorite format is the challenge course, so it looks like she might be right at home here.
Yeah, it's always great when you see that someone likes this type of course because it's really diabolical, you know. It's almost a torture chamber, so to speak, because you have to do so much, and by the end, your muscles are so burning and so on fire. But if this is what someone loves, then they just have that much better shot at doing well.
I agree. And it's, you have to be careful with your, like where you use your retries. Try not to use a retry too early. Try not to use a retry on any of the obstacles that take a long time. Lucy is balancing her way through now, making sure she's got footing. Great job on now to our Angry Birds obstacle.
When with this obstacle, it's sometimes hard for people to see at home, or if you're not too familiar with ninja obstacles, this is actually very tricky. If you see, all of those holds are at different angles, so it's not just hopping one hold to the next with them all being the same horizontal angle. They're all different and very, very challenging.
Yeah, and the way that it swings, it likes to throw your body almost into a circle, kind of like that. She just wasn't high enough there. So you have to fight the swing, trying to keep it straight. You have to keep both hands even at the same time, and you have to make sure you throw enough to turn the next hold to get your hands on it. So I can see why this obstacle is called 20-0. She's leaning her way out to that second one here. Again, the females can use any part of these Angry Birds. Going for the front. Let's see what she does on this pill here. She went for the sides last time. Does the same thing here. She just needs one more hop here. Making sure her swing is lined up, and she's got it. Great job, Lucy. Just needs that dismount. Taking an extra swing just to be safe. Oh, no!
Oh man, that was such an unexpected fall. I hope she's okay. It looks like they've got plenty of safety equipment, but she just slipped off. No, if her fingers were maybe just getting a little too tired there, or what happened, but man, she thought she had that in the bag, and then she just slipped off.
Yeah, that was definitely a peel, the way that she landed backwards. I thought that she had it. I was like, oh, she's got this already, but that it can happen if your hands just give out on you on an obstacle. But great fight out of Lucy on that Angry Birds, and we will look forward to seeing her back here at MOTUS in November.
Yeah, that's a great point. Because there's only 4 females and she made it far enough, she did advance to the finals. So you're right, she will be back here for the finals. So she's got a little taste of this gym now. It's going to be great to see her back.
We've got 2 teen females left. Ellie and Hannah are going to be our last 2 runners before we head over to the males. Did you get to do Angry Birds when you were on A&W, Travis?
I did not. Would have been fun to try, but I'm sure I had some sort of early iteration of it, but I can't. Over the 10 years that I did it, I'm having a hard time thinking of what that might have been, but I bet you I did. I just can't quite remember.
At least she didn't do it the first season. It looks like Lucy is okay. She's up and off the course, and we're on now to our next runner, Ellie, who's coming to us out of MOTUS Ninjas. I think this first obstacle looks relatively easy, but the angle of the rings, as you can see here, if you don't angle it perfectly, it sends your body into a circle, which is it's kind of hard to see from the alignment that we have. But now Ellie is fighting that circle here, trying to get herself over to the dismount.
Yeah, definitely a much harder obstacle than it looks at first glance because, like you said, they are off-centered and she is getting such this wonky swing. It looks
Yeah.
like she might be getting it corrected, but this is where, oh, that's a
Nice.
great save. I was going to say sometimes that's where it is to your benefit to actually use your retry instead of wasting all your energy, but she was able to correct and make it through. Good job, Ellie.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing, but she waited for that swing to line up, and now she is cruising through the second obstacle over to the boot scoot, knowing she's got to make up a little time for how much time she spent on that ring dismount. On now to the balance. Looks like we've got a poll up in the chat. Do you think we will finally see a clear in this teen division from our males, our females? Either one, vote in the chat below because we have not seen a clear yet on this course.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what the viewers think. Obviously, we talked about it a little, given our 2 cents on if we think we're going to see it clear, but this is a very challenging course as we are witnessing right now. Ellie's doing a good job right now. We'll see if she gets through this, though.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room for those retries, for those errors. Ellie is hopping her way through the Angry Birds here. Goes on the sides. Needs one more hop here. Great control out of Ellie. Looking for that dismount, and she has got it. Great job, Ellie. Moving on now to our mousetrap obstacle.
Yeah, she's really doing a good job. See, she's relaxed. She's staying hydrated there. I will say it's a tough mental challenge when the competitor before you has a fall or a crash, and so that can always play a little part, in your head. But she did not have any issues coming off 20-0, and she's cruising.
Yeah, she's doing awesome. Great first try on that mousetrap. Controlling that backswing. Awesome. Now she's just got to line up a little bit of a sideways throw here to the cliffhanger. Gets it and links through the dismount. Great job to Ellie. All right, we have not seen a teen female beat this obstacle yet. She's got a minute on the clock. She knows if she gets through this, that will put her in first place.
Yeah, I will say that is the thing. This obstacle right here, you cannot go too fast, and so this is a real time killer. Obviously, you have to be really precise, otherwise it could be a course run killer. But if you want to go further, faster, you got to keep a good pace through this. But clearly, you have to be very precise with every hold.
Yeah, you can see her now. She's eyeing, making sure everything pops off, but she's able to hold on. Making sure every movement is good, keeping her on the wall. Oh, and just comes up short on the dismount. She does have a retry, but there are 22 seconds on the clock left.
Yeah, this is where it's tough because she knows she has to go fast if she wants to get the point making it through this obstacle. But if you rush this, as we've seen, it is just so easy to make a mistake. But she's looking good. If she can just keep this pace, she should at least be able to get through this. But she's got to keep it moving.
She's got to go. She's got 4 seconds left on the clock. Get to that dismount. Nice job, Ellie. Her time is up. She tried to make it through that balance obstacle, but that is going to put her into first place, clearing that obstacle in the last few seconds. Way to fight through it, Ellie.
Yeah, definitely fight is the precise word I was thinking. That was a hard, grueling course. You could tell she was getting tired. She was shaking out her arms. I'm sure they were just on fire, but she kept going and she fought through, was able to get through Ice Climber just in the nick of time.
And here comes our final runner for our teen female. This is going to be Hannah, coming to us from Midwest Warrior Academy. Being the last runner in this division, she knows what she has to do. She knows she has to clear at least 7 obstacles faster than Ellie did. And looks like she's getting that same little spin, but great control over to the dismount. Turns around on that cliffhanger, eyeing up that throw, no problem. Pulling her way through. I feel like we're gonna see her really push the pace on these first few obstacles, since she knows what she has to be in order to get that first place run.
Yeah, that's why, as we've said, it's so nice to have that last run spot, or at least a later run spot in this challenge course, because you know what you need to do. If it's a time you have to beat, or if it's just an obstacle you have to beat to move on or get first place, it's so helpful to go last.
And she has already made her way through the first 4 obstacles. So that does mean that all 4 of our ladies will qualify to the championships, but Hannah doesn't want to just stop at that. She wants to try to get that first place, maybe even a clear on this course. She is eyeing up the Angry Birds, deciding her plan here. Keeping her hands on the first one. Ladies can use any parts of this obstacle, popping over. She's got to make sure that her hands stay even. There's not a lot of room on this obstacle to readjust your hands once you are on there to risk turning it. She is making her way through, no problem. One more move here. Last Angry Bird looking for that dismount. Big pull. And it looks like she's got it. Great job to Hannah.
Yeah, she's really doing good. I like her approach for this run. She looks very confident, very collected, has a good pace going, and I think if she keeps it up like this, she could potentially go even further than we saw from Hannah.
I believe so.
From Ellie.
From Ellie. I believe so. I think if she can keep this pace up and then get over to that rock wall, that she's definitely going to have it. Tries to flip it. I don't think that flap's going to stay up, though. That's the thing about this mousetrap, is you have to have the capacity to flip it and then grab midair, and her hands are just not able to hold on to that first try.
Yeah, it's amazing the speed you need to have in your hands to flip that up and then grab the hold. It's pretty amazing. The athletes that we've seen make it already, it looks so easy, but it is anything but. So Hannah had a little issue on that first try. Let's see if she can get it here on try number 2.
It looks like she's shaking out a little bit. We're seeing a lot of obstacles like this where you have to catch something, do something, throw yourself high enough to be able to complete something midair before you touch down on the obstacle. Oh, and her hands just not grabbing into that cliffhanger. That's going to do it for Hannah's run.
Yeah, she was looking so good. She had so much time. I thought that she was potentially going to be able to get that first place time, but she did just mess up a little bit there. That is a hard obstacle.
Yeah.
Though that mousetrap is no joke, but still, great job for Hannah.
Yes, all 4 of our ladies will be qualifying to finals back here at MOTUS. Ellie taking that first place spot with an amazing clear of that 7th obstacle at the last second. Elliot's going to be in her 2nd place, followed by Hannah, and then Lucy will be representing later this year in November. So we have no clears from our ladies on the challenge course. Looks like we're making a couple adjustments back there for our teen males. So I'm hoping that we will see a clear from our males today.
Yeah, and when we were looking at that leaderboard, what I loved seeing was, I believe it was Elliot. She was the one who had, again, issues on the placement course, and she wound up 2nd place overall. So just because you go down early on the placement course does not mean that you're not going to advance, that you're not going to podium. So way to go.
Absolutely. Our first male is waiting for those course adjustments to be made. This is going to be Isaac McCarthy. He's coming out of my home gym down in Florida at Jump Twist Ninja. He's got Coach Flip beside him, ready to take on this course. And his brother won our amateur division earlier today, so I'm sure Isaac is going to want to follow in his footsteps.
Yeah, it's always great seeing familiar faces. His coach there, Flip Rodriguez, longtime ninja friend of mine. I think I started doing ninja the year before he entered the game, and he has been around forever. So great seeing him pour into these young ninja athletes. Always good to see.
Absolutely. We saw him run earlier as well in the amateur division, taking second place. I know the big reason that he chose to compete today was so that he could, run alongside his students and inspire them to try to beat his time. And here we go. Isaac is going to be our first runner on the challenge course. Isaac is a very strong athlete. He loves campusing movements. He likes the full course, which, you get to keep going no matter how many retries you have on that course. But he does get 2 retries here on the challenge course.
Yeah, he definitely has a very fast pace right now. As we were talking about in the last course run, just not forgetting to breathe. Oh, and he came up short on that boot scoot. But he needs to make sure that he's still relaxed enough that he's breathing, focusing on what needs to happen, not rushing too fast.
There we go. Just a little more pull, shooting his feet through. He's got to really control and calm himself moving forward, taking an early retry there. And onward now to the Angry Birds obstacle. So for this, the males can only use the green portions of this obstacle. So they not only have to have the same accuracy with their hands as the females, but they have to be very precise with their hand placement, which makes this obstacle even harder.
Yeah, definitely, Megan. You see right there, it's so tricky because this is already a very precise obstacle. So to only be allowed to touch certain spots make it even that much harder. And we saw Isaac just have an issue right there. Hopefully he can make the proper corrections and get through it this try.
Yeah, he's got to really pop up higher. And he's got that first one. Great job so far. Now he's got to turn his hands the opposite direction for this. And he just turns it a little too high with his throw, right out of reach. And unfortunately, that is going to do it for Isaac's run out here on the challenge course.
Well, still, it's a great first run for the male division here. And, I mean, that was a little tricky. He wanted to go further, that. But it's a hard obstacle, especially with some of the rules that they changed for these males. You need to have such precision, and unfortunately Isaac just wasn't quite there, but still, good way to start off.
I think we'll be seeing Isaac later too, as we are hosting a premiere series at Jump Twist, so I don't think it'll be the last we'll see him. But Dylan is on now, our second teen male runner, trying to line up the O's dismount, taking a couple extra swings, no problem there. Over now to the cliffhangers. I feel like it's hard being the first couple runners of your division because everybody's watching, everybody's, trying to take your techniques, and you have to put up a quick enough time in order to have your time stand for the rest of the runners.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. It's a big mental challenge. It's so helpful for the later runners, especially when you see somebody just bust out either a new technique or just go super far, because again, it just helps you mentally realize, oh, okay, this is possible, it can be done, or maybe that's technique that I hadn't thought of, but I'm gonna copy what they did. And so definitely helpful to see when you're a later competitor.
Absolutely. And also these first few runners, they didn't necessarily get a buzzer on that placement course, so this is their time to try to get their buzzer today. His hands, it looks like they were just a little uneven, and he pulled it over to the right side there.
Yeah, with this obstacle, Megan, just even if those holds were all horizontal, for a majority of people, that would still be super tricky. But with them at different angles, Dylan goes down. It's just so hard to catch it in a way that you don't fall off, because they're all at different angles. It's such a tricky obstacle.
There's a reason that this obstacle was called 20-0, and so far today the obstacle is winning 2-0 with our teen male competitors. Hopefully we can get some clears through that one. Our next runner is going to be Jackson Woodland coming out of Kansas City. All right, and he is off. Taking on the O's. Great float up, angling his backswing. Trying to angle it correctly. Oh, tries to dismount right away and just falls off the side of that platform, which I believe you need to stick that platform. It is a shared platform, so he's going to have to retry this one.
Yeah, you know, Jackson's going to be a little disappointed with that. Hopefully he can make the right correction here. He just looked like he was trying to go a little too fast when he didn't really need to be doing that, but I'm sure he'll make it this time.
Yep, he's going to take a few extra swings to make sure he gets that landing and gets it right away over to the cliffhangers. Turning around here to face the next set. Takes one extra swing to be safe. I feel like if you take an early fall like that than you're expecting, it can really throw off the rest of your plan or even your confidence as you're attacking the rest of the course.
Yeah, it really can. That's where you need to stay super aggressive and super focused and staying true to your strategy that, oh, he came up short again.
No. So that's going to be the last retry that Jackson has on this course, which means he must clear this and then he must clear the rest of the course without any errors. Gets that dismount on now to the balance. So yeah, that really is going to change his game plan as he attacks the rest of these obstacles, knowing that he does not have any more retries in the tank.
As difficult as that is, some athletes, though, it's super exciting to see they kind of rise to the challenge because they know I can't mess up anymore. There's the pressure and they wind up crushing everything else. So we'll see what Jackson can do.
Yeah, looks like he's trying to turn the obstacle pre-swing. Oh, and it's still, if you just pull ever so slightly off of one side more than the other, making that transfer on this obstacle, it just turns it a little bit out of your reach. And unfortunately, that's going to do it for Jackson's run today.
Yeah, as we've seen so many times, you're just off even a centimeter and you're down on that obstacle. So I want to believe that one of these young men, they're going to figure this one out and it's going to kind of open the floodgates and everyone else is going to start really figuring out the technique that's right for that obstacle. But so far, that's kind of the unexpected ninja killer.
Seems like that's one of the crux points in this course for sure. Again, that's the name of it, 3-0 now. But I believe that we're going to see Miles make it through this Angry Birds obstacle. He's getting ready to go on the starting platform.
Well, you know, as we talked about Miles in the placement course, he's got a little bit more height than some of the other competitors, definitely a big wingspan. So that could really come to his advantage on that 20-0 obstacle. So that might really help him.
I think so too. We might see him maybe go for some more skips or some reaches, but looks like maybe they're fixing something. He's smart and taking a step off of that starting platform to go calm himself down, refocus on his plan before his run starts. And Miles is off. Jumps back on that first ring, and there we see that reach in play. Almost staticking through, redirecting his backswing. Great so far out of Miles on that first obstacle. That might be the best we've seen it so far today. Wow, turns right around on that cliffhanger, and he is moving through these first handful of obstacles.
Yeah, he actually has a surprising level of aggressiveness that I wasn't expecting from him, but it's really looking good.
Great job. One of the taller athletes, he does have to go fully upside down on that boot scoot to make sure he doesn't touch the floor, but he gets it no problem. Walking his way through the balance, and now we're going to see Miles face the Angry Birds. He has retries left. Hopefully he won't need them.
Yeah, again, as we've said, even when you watch competitor after competitor go down on the same obstacle, that can be such a mental challenge. So hopefully Miles can overcome that and be the first male to finish this obstacle right here.
So far, so good. Now this last grab is a reverse. Let's see how he handles this one. Looks like, oh, and he gets the reverse. No beta break from him. Miles doesn't need any reaches or big skips. He's got the tech, and he has beat the Angry Birds obstacle. I'm impressed.
Yeah, definitely. That was so exciting, Megan. He just made that very difficult obstacle look so simple. Oh, and look at that technique right there.
Wow, popping through. Yeah, he's looking super strong and confident out here. The males have 2 mouse traps that they have to get through here. Looks like he's angling his swing, pushing up, gets it, no problem. Looking for that dismount, and he's got 2 minutes left, already through 6 obstacles.
I'm really impressed with the kind of one-arm monkey swing technique that he's using. A lot of times that can come back to bite you because there's so much force on your one hand. You start just draining your strength, but it's really helping him with his large wingspan, and I'm impressed right now.
Yeah, he's definitely got a lot of one-arm grip strength, but because he is one of the taller athletes, this one might be a little more of a challenge for him. He's got to really scrunch himself up on this wall, use those little ice picks to get through, but he pulls through on an early dismount there, and he's off now through the balance, striding through the dominoes, already on to obstacle number 10, a minute 12 left on the clock.
Yeah, he is really crushing this course. If he wants to actually hit the buzzer, obviously he has to keep it moving, but this is a hard course. You know he's feeling it right now. I'm sure that lactic acid is building up in those muscles in his forearms, in his biceps, and this is really good though right now, what we're seeing from Miles Knight.
I agree. I just don't think that they're going to have a lot of extra time to rest on this course if they want to get over to the buzzer. Miles has got to do a really big dyno move up and pull down. Wow, he's long enough to keep his foot hooked on the other side and reach the top of that. That's definitely an advantage of his wingspan.
Yeah, we said it from the very beginning. That wingspan is going to really be to his advantage on this course, and we are seeing it time and time again. Let's just see how fast he can. Oh, and he does slip.
Oh, yeah, it looks like he pulled that down and his hands just couldn't hold on. He only has 12 seconds left on the clock. He's just going to have to go for it. That's what I was expecting. Him to just try to send it all away, knowing he didn't have enough time to complete the obstacle. But great work from Miles.
Yeah, this is no joke. Everything was so smooth, so solid. I was really impressed with Miles. That was a great, great run. And he well deserves to be in first place right now.
Yeah, he is a dominant first place run so far. Our first teen male to make it through that Angry Birds. The first one that I've seen commentating today that actually did the obstacle correctly, doing the reverse grab too. That was phenomenal out of him.
So now the question is, for the remaining athletes, are they going to take and build on his success? Because we see that happen a lot of times. Not always, but it definitely can. So we'll see what happens right now.
Yeah, we've got Ian up. I feel like it's always the floodgates open. You know, one athlete makes it through, and then we see more and more making it further and further in the course, and hopefully we can see Ian do the same thing here. He's coming to us from Ultimate Ninja's Elite Team, making his way across the rings into the boot scoot. He looks comfy out there in his pajama pants. I think I would get too hot running in pajama pants.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would choose that, but hey, whatever you're comfortable with, go for it.
He's making his way across. 3 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock. He's got all his retries left as he takes on our Angry Birds, which is now 3-1 because we have had one person make it through this obstacle. Oh, tries to link off the jump on the first one, but it looks like one hand just got there a little earlier than the other and pulled it down, but he does get a retry.
Yeah, definitely has his retry, but you know, it's where the mental challenge just already goes to a whole new level. He did make that one. He's got some really hard work still in front of him. Let's see if Ian can do it.
Pops up. Wow, pulls that one down. He's got a lot of really good air time floating up between these. Let's see what he does on this one. reaches around to one side, reaches to the other. Crazy lock-off strength, but now he's going to have to control his swing and go for a backwards dismount, which he does. I have not seen that technique yet.
Yeah, that was so creative. I love it when you see a ninja obstacle that's been such a challenge, and then somebody comes out with this completely unexpected technique. And I mean, it might have taken a little bit more strength, but it was a very safe technique that he had there, and it really worked for Ian.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely paid off. He's on now on the mouse traps. Easy work on the first one for him. I know a lot of gyms have been setting up this obstacle after finals. It is really, really fun to do. Pushes up the second one, gets there no problem. Looking for that dismount. And he is through it with 1:40 left.
Yeah, he's got a really, really healthy pace right now. As we've said, though, this ice climber obstacle, you have to be so precise. And if you do try to go even just a little too fast, it can come back to bite you. So some pretty big grabs right now from Ian, but it's working out for him. So let's see if he can finish it.
I like that hook that he did on that blue rock. That was really fast through that obstacle. Those are smart maneuvers, using that side pull to keep himself on the wall. He's got 1 minute left now on our toe hook, taking the L. Hopefully he does not take the L on this obstacle.
Yeah, he's still looking really, really good. I like what I'm seeing from Ian. He's showing a lot of great creativity, a lot of poise, and let's see if he can grit out this obstacle and go the furthest so far. Whoa!
Wow, he is able to hold on with one hand there. Going through. Oh, wow. He took the full impact of that obstacle. This one, it looks like you have an extra green cliffhanger on the back. So once he hooks those heels in, he can actually almost climb like a ladder up to that last hold. But if it starts to tilt before you grab that top hold, oh, there's a chance you can slip off like that.
Yeah, this is so tricky because even if this were the first or second obstacle, it would be really challenging. But to have it so far into the course, everyone's hands, their grip strength. Oh no!
He's trying to send it too, just like we saw Miles. So that's going to do it for Ian's run. Very strong run to that point. Was not as fast as Miles, but that does put him in second place right now.
Yeah, he was looking really comfortable, Megan. I liked what I saw from Ian. We saw some new creative techniques on several obstacles. Unfortunately, he just ran out of time and kind of did the best he could right there at the end and just peeled off.
Yes, it looked like he didn't have a lot of grip strength left. We've got Marty up now, coming from Illinois, rocking that Daniel Gill Kingdom Ninja shirt, taking on this course. Making his way through. I feel like having cliffhangers as the second obstacle, you really want to get on and off of there as fast as possible to make sure that your grip isn't taxed that early in the course.
Yeah, definitely. That's where some ninjas can get into trouble because you've got so much juice at the beginning and you can just use too much strength when you don't need to. So always on and off as fast as possible, like you said, as few movements as possible. It's always going to help you later in the course.
He's making this look great. He had super good boot scoot technique there. Stepping his way across, being a little cautious, making sure he doesn't want to use a retry on this balance obstacle. Making his way now to the Angry Birds. We're going to keep these stats up. We're at 3-2 right now. Angry Birds are up 1. Hopefully Marty can even that score out. All right, hanging on the first one. He's got to pop up, be accurate, and he just had his fingertips there. Looks like he couldn't get his full hand into those slots, so he wasn't able to hold on, but he does get a second shot at this obstacle.
Yeah, and again, just to how difficult this obstacle is, not only is that at an angle, but on that right side on the second hold, you have to get your right hand. Oh, and he just came up short, Marty. I was saying you just need to get that hand even there faster because it's out in front.
Yep.
It's just so tricky, but good job. Nice effort out of Marty.
Great try from Marty. I'm sure Going down a little earlier than he wanted, but great experience out here trying out new obstacles. That puts our Angry Birds now 4-2. And Josh is going to be our next runner, coming to us from Illinois. And let's see, he's off on the O's. Wants to make sure he lines his backswing up. That was really good air awareness where his hips were behind him, making sure that he could link right off the dismount. So far, so good from Josh.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't know if that was intentional, the way that he flew through the air going into that last ring, but it lined him up just perfectly to where he could go, oh no, so fast.
Wow.
Wow.
He fell into that boot scoop, but was able to lean back enough to get through it. He's looking like he's a little like controlled chaos right now on this course, but it's working out for him.
I know, it's actually kind of stressing me out a little. He's going so fast, but almost, it's like that bleeding edge of what's too risky, but it's working out so far.
Yeah, he's got that first move here on the Angry Birds. Wow, I thought that was going to tilt on him, but he was able to get his hands into the slots. One more move now. Let's see what he goes for here. Goes for the reverse, but he's just too far in front of the obstacle and not able to get his hands in there. I wonder if he's going to change his approach now that he gets another try.
Yeah, I think watching that attempt, it might be wise if he changes his strategy on that last hold, maybe try to static it like we just saw prior to his run. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting call.
Yeah, let's see what he does now. Looks like he's building it up, and he gets that reverse. Great job, Josh. Keeps the same approach, and it works out for him. Another one conquering our Angry Birds. I'm impressed by that.
Yeah, that was a very gutsy call to just go for the same technique, and he obviously made the proper corrections. Oh, and he skipped.
Wow. Yeah, he's really, I agree. That was a gutsy move for him, but he's on the mousetraps now, pulling his way through. He's going to make one more move here, leading out with one hand. Great job, Josh, making that one look easy. 1:45 left on the clock as he makes his way over to our ice picks.
I'm really curious now to see what his technique is on this. I believe it was Ian who had a little bit of different beta or different technique, where instead of just getting that tip of those holds into the rock climbing jugs, he kind of wrapped it around the top of some of them, and it really seemed to work well.
Yeah, I think that was really smart. These first couple, it looks like they have like little divots that you can't necessarily wrap around, but I think once you get over to that blue hold is where we're seeing them. Oh, wow. I don't know how he held on to that one. Trying to hook his way over. Oh man, that one scared me a little bit. Oh, one pops off, causing the other one to pop off, but he does have a retry.
Yeah, it's interesting. It looked like he was trying to wrap it around at first on that blue, but then kind of gave up on that. I'm not sure if he saw how Ian had gone about it. That is why, obviously, before you do your course run, you're getting in your mental place, figuring out what you're going to do, but it's also so important to watch what's going on before you, because somebody may have an awesome technique. Oh, and Josh goes down.
It looks like one of them just gave out and caused the other one to pop off the wall. That's going to do it for Josh. I agree with what you're saying. It's a balance of, watching for the beta, but also sometimes I feel like when I personally watch the runners before me, sometimes I get nervous about obstacles I wasn't nervous for, because I see people failing and I'm like, oh, am I like not thinking hard enough about this one obstacle? So I think it's like a fine balance between the two.
Yeah, for sure. You don't want to get mentally psyched out. I know that there have been some times, looks like Ethan Perkins is already up and running.
Yeah, he's already off on this course, coming from California out at Traverse. Definitely one of my favorite gyms to visit and train at. Pulling his way through. He is speeding through the first part of this course.
Yeah, good air time there on that dismount, that boot scoot. I will say I love boot scoot technique. Back in the day when I started American Ninja Warrior, we used to have just a rope swing obstacle that was deceptively difficult. And the boot scoot was one of the easiest ways to do it. And I think I was one of the first ones to actually kind of do that on the show. It was so fun. A lot of people just didn't think about doing a technique like that, but it's super, super easy. Helps you go far on a move like that. And Ethan is making short work right now.
It looks like he might be going for a skip here. Ducking under. Whoa! Makes it over to the platform. Okay. Ethan is on and off of that obstacle. Wow.
Well, as we talk about beta breaks, showing of new techniques, that might have been it right there.
We saw some of our amateur males do it earlier, but you never know if the teens are watching the divisions before them or not. Looks like he needs another swing. Gets onto that mousetrap, and so much time. He has 2.5 minutes left on the clock right now.
Yeah, so he's the fastest by far to this obstacle at this point, and if he can keep, again, a safe but healthy speed right now, I'm excited to see how far Ethan can go.
Looks like he's hooking on the yeah, that blue one. I think the technique of hooking to the side of that one blue hold is actually the safest way to do this obstacle. So we'll see if Ethan changes his approach here. He still has plenty of time.
I think it's almost hooking around the top with the right hand on the blue. I think that might benefit him.
Let's see.
We'll see.
Goes straight on. His hand pops off. And it's kind of hard because you can't pay attention to both hands at the same time. But he pushes off the wall, and he has got through on now to our balance obstacles. Sprinting his way through. 1.5 minutes left on the clock. He's now going to take on our Take the L. See if he can get the W on this obstacle today.
I like what I'm seeing right now. That time is of the essence, but at the same time, if you're really feeling tired, you're getting gassed, it's really important to take a moment just to catch your breath, shake your arms out a little bit. Oh, Ethan's already struggling a little bit, but
yeah, I think
he might be able to make this.
He's got it. I think he's one of our shorter athletes too in this division. So, he's going to have to work a little harder to make sure that he can hook all the way, but he's still looking really strong on this. Hooking those. I like that this is, oh no! It tilts on him as he tries to pull up, but I think his feet came off. And if your feet come off on that second one before you have a grip all the way on the top, it's almost impossible to hold on to those green cliffhangers on this obstacle.
Yeah, that's why this is one of those technical obstacles that you kind of have to do it exactly right. If you don't, it's not going to work and you are going to fall. But he still has 30 seconds. We haven't seen anyone with this much time on a second attempt. So let's see if Ethan can get it.
Yeah, and he's still, judging from his pull strength, he looks like he's still got a lot of gas left in the tank as well. He's got to really squeeze with his feet here, work his way up. He gets a hand on the top, brace for the drop. Oh, and he just slips off on that drop. Great run out of Ethan, though. That is going to put him in first place overall.
Yeah, very, very impressive run. There was some aggressive moves that he did we haven't seen yet, and it really paid off for him. And like you said, he still seemed to have so much gas left in the tank, but it is just so hard right here on that drop. There's so much pressure, and his fingers just couldn't hold it.
You can tell from that replay, he really fought to hold on to that, but his hands just slipped off. Still a very impressive run out of Ethan. And Caden is going to be our next runner from Midwest Warrior Academy in Nebraska. Oh, I thought he was going to link that whole first obstacle there. Wow.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it, but probably the safe thing to just take that extra swing instead of doing something silly and getting off balance and falling there.
And taking a retry really early in the course. Gibboning his way now across the rings, pulling through to the dismount, to that boot scoot. He looks very calm and controlled right now on this course. Let's see, striding his way across. I lost count of what we're at on this obstacle. It's got to be almost even now from the clears. So let's see if we can get another one out of Caden.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of clears lately, which how it started off at the beginning, it didn't seem like that would be maybe the case, but they're definitely figuring out. I'd like to see now if he's gonna follow Ethan's technique and do a skip. It's a pretty risky move, but we'll see if he does it.
Oh,
Oh.
he pushed the side on that one up a little bit too much. It looked like he almost wanted to skip the first one, but it might have just been out of his reach on the second one there. So let's see if he can, pop up a little bit more off of that second Angry Bird without tilting the entire rig as much as it did before. He's getting that swing. He's got that first grab. The precision of this obstacle is crazy. Gets the second hexagon there. A couple more moves here on the Angry Birds. Let's see what technique we go for. A little bit of a swing. Looks like he's going for a static on this. Oh, it looks like he might be trying to dismount. Nope. Okay, goes for that backwards move. Great job, Caden, on and off the Angry Birds.
Yeah, it did kind of look like maybe he was going to get a big sideways swing and just go for that dismount, but looks like he thought better of it and played it safe, and he did make it through.
Yeah, it's probably the smarter move when you've already used a retry, just to make sure, you really get to that dismount. Really good height on that first mouse trap. A lot of air time, making sure he gets his hands up and under. Looks like he's almost like testing the flip on it before he actually goes for the obstacle. Oh, just a little too low on the second one.
Yeah, I have to wonder if he's starting to get a little tired too in his grip. I mean, he looks pretty strong right there, but those, you can only have so much strength in your fingertips. It only lasts so long. So we'll see.
Oh, just a little. I think he was a little too far back there when he flipped it. His body was not able to get under that cliffhanger. It's going to be it for Caden on this course. Solid effort. Great job beating that Angry Birds obstacle.
Yeah, he still did a really good job. Hopefully he's feeling proud. Here's Jeremy Luff. I'm really excited to see Jeremy on this course, Megan.
Me too. Jeremy and Cameron were the two that the chat were saying we should really keep an eye on to win it. So I'm excited to watch him as well. And he is off. He trains at Big Time Ninja and has a crazy long list of incredible coaches that he's had before, including Ethan Swanson, Jesse Lebret, Chris DeGangi.
Also says that at age 10, he memorized 1,800 digits of pi.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know if I can count that high, much less memorizing pi. Oh, looks like he misses one of the holds on that Angry Birds, but he does get another opportunity.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised. I was not expecting to see Jeremy have a mishap on that obstacle, because he's a very smart and intelligent athlete with how he goes about every single thing, and I expected a little bit more precision from him, but again, and he went down.
It looks like he just had one finger in on that right side and wasn't able to get the entire hand into it, and that's such an unfortunate early exit from one of those that our YouTube chat was saying, could be in it to win it.
Yeah, definitely. It just goes to show how difficult this is, and it doesn't matter how good you are. Anybody can go down on any obstacle. So very heartbreaking for Jeremy, but he did a really good job. He had a fast time to that point, but now we've got Jackson going.
Yep, and we saw Jackson's twin sister win the female division. So hopefully he can stay in his sister's footsteps and we can have twins in first place today.
Yeah, it's always helpful when you have siblings who are doing the same thing with you. You train together, you can help root each other on. It looks like that's what they've got, that kind of camaraderie. That's a great thing.
Yeah, and plus, one being male, one being female, then they don't have to compete against each other either, which I'm sure makes it a little better.
Oh, I'm sure, but I bet you they're still pushing each other nonetheless.
Absolutely. He's been doing Ninja since 2018, and challenge course is his favorite style, of course. So hopefully he is enjoying this one out here. Makes swinging the whole obstacle with him. Goes for that static reach. backwards here. Didn't get, there we go. He made it all the way through. Amazing work. No retries so far for Jackson. Let's see. Testing out that mousetrap, pushing it up, getting his hands under. It looks like Jackson, his favorite thing about Ninja is that he gets to compete with his friends, and you can find him on the sidelines with his friends and competitors, sharing techniques and tips on the course. And that is also one of my favorite things about the sport. You know, it's at the end of the day, it's the athletes versus the course, and we just want to see somebody get to the end in the time limit. He's making his way through. He's got the ice picks on the wall. Let's see what approach he goes for. Looking for that hook.
He's got that over the blue one technique that we were talking about. Looks like it's working for him.
There, pulls through. 1:30 left on the clock, running through the balance. On now to our taking the L obstacle. I like this obstacle because it's kind of like a rock climbing technique, and we see, you know, techniques from different sports. We see a lot of the parkour movements. Now we're seeing more rock climbing, technical obstacles to really gas our ninjas out on this course.
What I loved seeing earlier, I can't remember which competitor it was, but on this, it was a total rock climber move. He's basically upside down, hanging with one arm, shaking out the other to get those forearms a little recovered. But Jackson is doing awesome right now.
Yeah, he's on now to that second movement. He's climbing his way up on the ladder. He's looking really strong, and he holds on for that pull down. Gets the dismount. First one that we've seen so far through. Only 20 seconds left on the clock, though.
Yeah, but if you saw, he looked like he still has a lot of gas left in the tank. This is crazy.
Spinning around. Oh, and just slips off. He does have a retry with only 10 seconds. Let's see if he can at least clear the second to last obstacle. Yep. Oh, just out of reach. That's going to do it for Jackson. Incredibly strong run out of this young man, making it all the way to obstacle 11 on this course.
Yeah, seriously, a very, very impressive run from Jackson. Like we said, looked like he still had a lot of strength. It's just he was running out of time, and it's, again, just super tricky obstacles, and he just couldn't quite overcome that one there. But great job. He is deserving of first place so far. But I don't know, Megan. We only have a few runners left. Do you think we're going to see a clear?
The W on this course with a few runners left. We've got 4 runners left in the division, so we're going to have to see if Jackson's first place run holds up.
Yeah, I know that these last athletes, they are going to really be bringing it, but I don't know. That was such an impressive run from Jackson. I still want to see a clear, but Jackson looked pretty dominant on that run.
Yeah, I agree. And remember, the top 4 athletes do qualify back here at MOTUS, and with only 4 left, you know, these 4 are going to have to beat Jackson's run in order to secure their qualifying spot. We've got Cameron Godbout on the course now. Wow, underbarring through the rings. This is another one that our chat was favored to win, and you can see from his movements here why they're saying that.
Yeah, he's flying even hard for the camera to keep up. And what little I know about Cameron, I think he's probably a little frustrated that he didn't get the fastest time in the placement course, and he wants to show everybody what he's all about right here.
Yeah, wow. He's looking, just a little too far forward on that. But he does get another try, and his technique actually looks really good. He just, was not as precise on that placement.
Yeah, he looked a little overly aggressive on that, which we haven't really seen that happen yet. So he's strong and he's got the technique, just has to dial it in right here.
There it is. He gets that second hexagon, 2 more moves left on this course. Let's see. He goes for the reach, goes for that backwards static move, is just looking now for the dismount. 3 minutes left on the clock. He is cruising. Wow. I know Cameron's cousin Jonathan is a well-known ninja in the ninja community, both in WNL and on the show as well. And so you can see, it runs in the family here.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful when you've got others to look to, especially within your own family. Just help you train, to be inspired, to be motivated, and Cameron is looking in very good shape. Oh no,
you spoke a little too soon. He might have been moving too quickly on that obstacle, but he's trying to get to that buzzer as fast as possible, or at least get through that 10th obstacle to put himself in first place. Let's see what his technique is here. Doesn't go for that hook. He's going to try to push and pull, and makes it. Great job from Cameron. It looks like Cameron is no rookie here too, Ninja. He started in 2018. He's got a very long list. He earned first in the teen male power rankings in season 10 and second at world championships, with a full clear on all 3 stages this past season.
Well, so here he is. He's already halfway done with this obstacle, still more than a minute and a half left. I like the pace that I'm seeing. Using his toes to hook on that first hold. That was incredible.
Yeah, he is seriously moving. He won the Sportsmanship Award this past season as well at WNL. And he was on the All Ninja team, the All Balance team. He won Barbados Ninja Throwdown in the teen age group 2 years in a row. So you can see why he's putting up such a crazy strong run right now.
Yeah, he's so experienced, that is for sure. And it really helps when you're on these challenging courses, having experience in your corner, because you can stay a little more calm, a little more collected. He still has 45 seconds.
Wow. Looks like he might be going for a skip here. I thought he was high enough, but it looks like, I think there's a cone that we're not seeing, that it's just out of his reach there. That is going to do it for Cameron's run. Very strong up to that point.
Yeah, really. He did look so strong. It was too bad that he had that retry at the beginning. Because I would have liked to see him give that last obstacle another try, but unfortunately he just couldn't. Good run, though.
Yeah, very good run. It's hard to see what his hand missed on there, but that should hold up, as we've got 3 runners left. And Liam is going to be our next runner. Liam trains at the barn. So, he's got some really strong training partners that he trains with out there. Pulling his way through. Great work, moving fast. He knows he's got to cruise through the first parts of this course in order to get one of those top placement times, with 2 runners left behind him as well. Stepping his way across the balance. I'm pretty sure with only 3 runners left that Cameron has actually secured his spot in the championships, which he's got to feel good about that. Popping his way through. Just misses. It looks like his left hand on the side of that obstacle, but he does get a retry here. on the Angry Birds.
Yeah, again, I'm surprised to see Liam have an issue there, but we know it's a hard obstacle. It's another one where if you are trying to go maybe just a little too fast, it can really meet with disastrous consequences, but looks like he's making the proper corrections right here. Let's hope that he can finish this one.
Yeah, it looks like he slowed himself down a little bit on that second try to keep his hands accurate. Going for that 180 dismount, no problem. 240 left on the clock, heading now over to the mouse traps. Big pops out of Liam here. I like that he used that ring to like start his swing on the trapeze bar so he wasn't going from 0.
Yeah, very smart move. Help save some energy and help the efficiency for sure.
One more move here. Oh, just a little too far underneath that cliffhanger, and his hands peeled open on that second mousetrap. That's going to be using his last retry on the challenge course.
Yeah, so Liam right now is going to be feeling some pressure, but I'm hoping that he just uses that to his advantage to kind of raise it to a whole nother level and clear this course and hopefully get a few more obstacles in.
I think so. Quick moves here. Little pull back on that trapeze. Goes right away into the first one, linking to that second trapeze, lighting his swing up. Wants to take an extra swing just to be safe and secures it in his second try. So he is through, but that means that he is out of retries now as he heads into the ice pick obstacle.
Yeah, he did a great job coming back on that. Whoa, he almost falls right there. He does have to keep it moving though. But like we've said, this is a hard obstacle to go quickly on. So let's see if Liam can get it through.
Yeah, he's staying nice and locked off, moving carefully through this, knowing that he doesn't have that retry to slip. Moving one hand at a time, hooking underneath. I think he's trying to figure out where he wants his hands in order to pull through onto that dismount. Gets it, goes for an early exit off there, but no problem for him. 40 seconds now on the clock as he is going to try to make his way through. He knows he has to get through this obstacle here if he wants to get one of those top 4 spots.
Yeah, unfortunately, he does not have the luxury of, oh, and he falls.
Yeah, he knew he had to go quickly and that he had to get through taking the L obstacle in order to qualify. And unfortunately, it was not enough for one of those top spots.
Yeah, that's such a tricky obstacle that if you can't take a breather and shake out your muscles, it's so incredibly hard. And he had to go right into it, and it just was too much for Liam. But good job.
Yeah, solid effort out of Liam. So I do believe that is also going to secure Jackson as well in a qualifying spot, as we have 2 runners left today. So Cameron and Jackson will take one of those 4 spots. And on now, Max is coming to us. He is a MOTUS ninja. He trains here at the gym, so he should feel right at home. It's a really good pull through move there. Yeah, he is really good, like one arm swings through the first parts of this course.
Yeah, definitely moving very fast, very efficiently. He looks really comfortable. Oh, I thought that balance he was maybe going to get off, but good course correction right there.
Able to save it. Good awareness. Taking a breath here before tackling our Angry Birds obstacle. I'm curious to know if this is also one that Donovan got to do on the show, which is why he diabolical and wanted to put it up for the premiere series.
Yeah, again, another unexpected fall there. I really thought, up to that point, Max was completely dominating this course. I thought that he would get those hands on there with the precision needed, but still, oh no!
Oh, an early exit from Max. That is so unfortunate. It's like they say on the show, any ninja at any time, you can have just one slightly off-placed hand and that can cause you to fall early. Unfortunate for Max.
Yeah, you know he's going to be a bit disappointed, but he still had a great run. I probably had the fastest time up to that obstacle, but still a great effort.
Yep. All right. It comes down to Emmett. Are we going to see a clear on this challenge course for our division? For anyone this whole weekend, it's up to you, Emmett. We believe in you.
Well, again, Emmett was so good, so strong and fluid on the placement course. If anybody can do it, it's him. Let's go, Emmett.
All right. We believe in you, Emmett. He is pulling his way through. He does love challenge courses, and he has been doing ninja since 2014. So, what is that, 11 years of experience? Wow. That is much longer than I have been doing ninja myself. He likes moving with obstacles. He does not like foot dexterity, but he did make that balance obstacle look pretty easy. Let's see if he can pop his way through the angry birds.
Wow.
He trained. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was just super impressive. He looked off on that grab, but yet still had the wherewithal to make proper corrections and keep it going.
Yeah. It's really good awareness. That's one thing about ninja, being, aware of your body when you're midair like that takes a lot of skill. Oh, I thought he was going to hold on to that with one hand. He just missed one hand on that grab.
To be able to even have a chance of salvaging that with the one hand, that takes finger strength like no other. That was so impressive.
That was insane. Now he's taking a little bit more of a cautious approach because he does get a retry on this obstacle. I think his first one, he was, just moving through quickly because he knew he had to get through it as fast as possible. Gets it on his second try, 2:23 on the clock, over to the ice picks. Let's see his technique on this one. Reaching out. Again, this one is challenging. You have to be aware of all four limbs at one time, making sure you have the right amount of pressure on those ice picks so that they don't pop off the wall. Going for that sideways hook there. Reaching over to the green, setting his feet up, and gets through. That was very clean out of Emmett.
Yeah, super clean. It looked like he maybe was even getting a little off balance, but just quickly pushed off with his foot on one of those holds and made it look like that's exactly what he meant to do.
And that's also going to secure Emmett in third place, taking one of those qualifying spots. Congratulations to him, but we know that he wants to be the full clear on this challenge course today.
Yeah, definitely, but he is running out of time because we've seen that this can take a while. So if he keeps moving, keeps a fast pace, it is possible, but he's gonna have to be super efficient.
He's got to hold tight on that drop, turning himself around, looking for that dismount. All right, that's going to bump him up to second place with 1 minute and 4 seconds. We have not seen anyone get through this obstacle yet. I think if he wants to get through the last two, he's really going to have to go. Taking a big swing here. It looks like they have to lâcher to some sort of pipe and spin and reach. And whatever, he's got it. Over to the ring, looking for the dismount. 38 seconds, and that's going to put Emmett in first place.
Super, super impressive, Megan. And you know right now, he knows he's got first place, but he is going for it right now. This might be it. This
is going to be so close. Floating monkey bars are not an obstacle you can really speed your way through, so he's got to be as precise as possible. 14 seconds left on the clock. Come on, Emmett. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be close, Travis.
He is so close. Keep it going.
Oh, and the monkey bar just slips, and you can see in his face he wanted that buzzer so bad. He has 3 seconds left, but I think he's just gonna call it on that one.
Yeah, Emmett just crushed that course. I think it shows that a clear is possible. Obviously, it's not going to happen in this teen division, but that was such an impressive run.
Hopefully we can see one from our elites. Both of our winners in the teen males and the amateur males, it came down to seconds on the clock for that last move, but amazing run there out of Emmett, showing us, you know, very dominant why he is the winner of our teen male division here at MOTUS. Incredible job.
Yeah, if he wouldn't have had that slight mess up, he, you know, would have had a few extra seconds, and that might have been the difference, because he's probably trying to rush that last floating monkey bar. But wow, great job.
I
Emmett.
agree. And these are going to be your qualifiers here at MOTUS Ninjas. We got Emmett taking that first place spot, followed by Cameron, Jackson, and Ethan are going to be back here in November for our finals. Great job to these 4 young men. And this is going to be our full leaderboard. Wow, look at our from 10 down to 15. The Angry Birds are just taking so many people out today.
Yeah, like we said, it kind of was the ninja killer for quite a while, but then a good number of these ninjas figured it out. But still, some of the last athletes to go still wound up having some issues on that. So still super challenging.
They knew what they had to do going in those final runners. And then our females, we've got Ellie, Elliot, Hannah, and Lucy that we're going to see back here at MOTUS in November. So congratulations to them. It looks like our 2 twins, Jackson and Hannah, are both going to be participating in finals, which is super cool.
Yeah, you know, they're going to keep pushing each other. And I mean, all these athletes, even if they're from different gyms, you know that they're helping each other out, pushing each other. So we're going to see some great ninja action back here at MOTUS for the finals.
And I'm excited. At 4 p.m. today, you guys can come watch the elites, which hopefully we'll see a clear from one of those. But I am Megan Budway here with Travis Rosen, signing off for the rest of the day. But come back at 4 p.m. to watch the elites, and we'll see you guys later.